Hi everybody, it's Mr. Don from East Shore Baptist Church here with another Friday Night Bites. I want to show you something tonight. Who knows what this is? It's a model, and inside this box there's a whole bunch of little pieces and even more in the box. And you can paint these and glue them all together and it'll make the car that's on the cover here. But there's also something else in this box. There's this piece of paper that when you open it up, it's all the instructions on how to put this model together. Well, do you think you could do this? I think with a little help and a little time, you might be able to put this model together. But how about if I ask you to put this together? And I told you that it is 450 feet long and 75 feet wide and 45 feet tall. Do you think you could do it? Not even with a little help, I bet. Because if you ask mom and dad, this is bigger than a football field. But there was a man in the Bible that did that, and his name is Noah. And I would like to tell you a little story about him. The story of Noah can be found in the book of Genesis, which is the first book of the Bible. It's the book that tells about how God created all the earth and all the animals and people. Genesis being in the Old Testament is before Jesus was born. But God created all the people, and one day he's in heaven and he's looking down and he's sad because he noticed how mean and how bad people had gotten. And he thought, you know what? This could have been a mistake making people. Maybe I should just get rid of them all. But as he's looking around, he sees this man named Noah and his family. And Noah was good. And God said, maybe I'll give him another chance. So God talked to Noah about this plan. He says, I'm going to send a great flood to flood the whole earth. But I want to save you and your family. So what I want you to do is I want you to make this big boat. It's called an ark. He said, I want you to take in 2 of every kind of animal. Now, some animals he took more of, like chickens and cows, because he could eat the eggs from the chicken and have milk from the cows, so that they would have food while they were in the ark, and his family also. Now, Noah had a wife and 3 sons, and each son had a wife also. So there was 8 people and all these animals in the ark now. So as soon as everything was loaded into the ark, the door to the ark was huge, so God closed it up for him. And as soon as the door was closed, it started raining. It started off as little drops, it turned into puddles, it turned into streams, turned into rivers and oceans, and finally the whole earth was covered in water. The only thing you could see was water and the ark. Now Noah and his family and all the animals were in the ark and they were safe and dry. It rained for 40 days. Now if you think about it, 40 days is a long time. So like we just came out of summer, so if you think about the months of June or July, neither of those months even has 40 days in it, and those are long months. So it rained a long time. And then when it stopped raining, the water started going down, and that takes a long time for that to happen. I mean, if you think about it, fill your bathtub with water, and when you go to empty it, it takes a while for all that water to empty out. Well, it took 150 days from when it started raining until all the water disappeared from around the earth. 150 days is about a half a year. So when the ark finally came to rest on the ground and God opened the door, Noah and his family and all the animals came back out. The reason that God kept Noah safe all this time was because he had a purpose for him. And he had a purpose because Noah was faithful and obedient to God. And guess what? God has a purpose for your life too. And all he's asking for you to do is to be obedient and faithful to him. So how do you know what God wants you to do? You can find that in the Bible. Now, some of you are going to tell me, Mr. Don, I'm too young to read a Bible. Well, you can get your mom or your dad or somebody else. Or maybe you want to come to a church and try one of our kids' clubs out and just see. So, just remember, God has a purpose for your life. So this week's challenge is, I would like you to build me an ark, a full-size ark. No, I'm just kidding. In the links below, there's a coloring page. I'd like you to download that and do the coloring page. And then you can either take a picture of it and send it to me, or send it into the church email address, which you can see on your screen. Just remember, it's not about the prize you get for coloring the picture. It's that you've learned that God has a purpose for your life. Thanks, and I hope to see you next week.